So I'm using my voice now. So you know what that means? No, I'm not sponsored by anyone. I just thought this would be a lot easier, but if anyone does want to sponsor me, please, I'm really poor and I would appreciate some sponsor money. But anyway, so I thought I would go over my remix tutorial kind of thing for Grimes. I believe that's how you pronounce them. It was their You'll Miss Me When I'm Not Around song, and I thought it'd be a lot easier just to talk my way through it, say some words rather than getting a text to speech or just whacking some text up on the screen for you guys. So we'll just get into it. The rules for this remix competition was that you had to use at least 2 of the stems, so that's why I'm only using the vocal stems, and it also had to be at least 2 minutes long, as well as having all the legal rights for all the sounds that you use and everything. So I thought I will start from the beginning. The song is in C# minor. If you haven't heard the song, I'll leave a link into the description so you can go have a listen to it. But I wasn't a fan of the chords that they use, so I thought I'll reharmonize it, rearrange it all, and everything like that. I whacked it on to a Rhodes, so that sounded like this. It's just a simple chord progression with a touch bit of variation towards the end there. And then I also put this onto a pad from Serum. It's one of their presets. So that sounds exactly the same like this, just on the pad there. For the intro, I thought I would do something to catch the listener's ear. So I've used this in the drop as well. That's where I originally put it, and I thought, you know what, at the intro it needs a little bit of something. So I did a quick filter sweep here, a low pass sweep, and then I also did some panning on the master panning, so it sounds like this, which I think just adds something a little bit more special towards the start of the song, as well as having these reverse reverbs, which I got from recording bits of the lead here, just edit them out, chopping them up. And then this is where the vocal starts, here. So it's all just like the original vocals from the song. I only added in a bit more reverb and delay just to fill up the space in the song, especially these parts here I cut out because they had some vocal chops in there, which I wasn't a massive fan of. I think they are in the song a bit more further along towards like these sections here, but just for the kind of vibe that I was going for the song in this section anyway, at least, I didn't feel like it entirely suited it there. So then for the second part of the verse, I decided to keep everything nice and simple, but then just to add a sample of the Amen break drum beat. Like that, just to add a bit more energy into it before we then fade it all out again into the build up to then increase the energy for the chorus or drop here. So for the build, it was just nice. It's a really nice simple build where you get a bit of a whoosh with the crash here. You get some impacts and some noise there with some sweeps. The Rhodes are still playing. I took the pads out, and then I'm also fading in the lead and the super saws here with filter sweeps again, as you can see here. So that's what this sounds like. So then the second stem that I used from the song was just some of the background vocals, which sound like this.
You miss me when I'm down.
And then I just duplicated that, put it an octave down, just to add some impact into it there with some reverb and delay. I obviously had to bounce out the super saws there just to save up some CPU, otherwise my computer would die. But this is what they sound like. Let's see if I can get them with those on there. They just follow the exact same chords as from the intro and the verses, just with a different rhythm to them. And then obviously being kind of like melodic dubstep future bass kind of thing, most of the saws are just like the higher frequencies to add some energy into it, but most of the sound does come from the bass of the songs, which if you have them together with those on, it has a nice big impactful sound, which is quite simple. It's just a sub bass then a heavily distorted bass together there, and then the saws I think I layered like three saws. Yeah, so you got a detuned saw in Serum there, 10 voices, 8 voices there. This one slightly more detuned. Oh no, wait. Yeah, this one slightly more detuned than this one, just to be louder, not louder, just to be wider in the ears there. And then this one's a clean saw, so you know, just the one voice there. And that will just do that there. And then I think I got this from a preset pack. From like a Dylan Toolchef or some, like one of his videos. He released it, so I've been using that quite a lot ever since, and I think it just sounds quite nice. It adds more texture onto the super saws. But the lead, I think this is one of the most interesting parts of the song, because I made it using one of the vocal samples. So if I take off all the effects on there, yeah, it literally just sounds like that. But then if I add on all of the effects that I've got, I'll bring it over onto the screen here. It's got some EQ, and then I run it through a guitar rig to have some amp simulations on it, and then as well as some reverb, stereo enhancer, some balance, and then more EQ. And then that way it sounds more like that, which I feel like is about a bajillion times better than what it sounds like without effects. And then I also added on just a quick saw lead, just to add on some more texture to the lead. And also a load of reverb, because I like my spacious songs. Something different that I've been doing is using Fruity Balance for the side chaining. So this way I can be more specific with it, rather than what I was doing before was using the Fruity Limiter, linking it all up to that and using that for the side chain. But yeah, I'm starting to prefer definitely using the Fruity Balance. And I used a clap and 2 snares. So I used the clap like that for more of the high-end noise, this for more of like the tonal noise, and that for more of like a crack kind of sound. So altogether they sound like that. The kick I used, I tuned this down so it matches the key of the song, which if you don't do that, it is quite important to do that. Some people will argue against it, but usually it helps clean everything up. It makes it fit nicely into the mix more, because you won't really have to worry about the frequencies clashing as much. Then I used a crash on every kick hit, and I used some hi-hats when the chords were playing. I did some panning on the fast rolls there. I did the reverse reverb from the lead here, but I also decided to add some panning onto it just to give it a bit more movement. So it pans from left to right like that. I've got a ride on the start of each beat, or each bar even. Then added in some tom fills as well. And then also, an important thing to do is to have some more higher frequencies into the song. Usually do this with like a crowd cheer, but I also have this side chained to the kick as well. So if I whack that on, just adds a lot more energy to the song. So if I have a listen to everything now. If I ever listen to it without the crowd cheer. Yeah, it's very, very subtle, but I think it does make quite the difference. And then again, here we've got the filter sweeps and the pan in here just to add a bit more interest to the song. And I also do the same kind of frequency. Keep calling it frequency. Then I also do the same filter sweep kind of thing here, but just on the lead. And the same again. Just to add a bit more life to the lead, you know, just so it's not all the same and quite boring. And then obviously the rest of the song is quite the same, apart from this bit here where I have a little bit of a break. Just to go back into it again, and then the ending, instead of having the pan-in and the filter sweep here, I push it back just a little bit for the ending of the song quite nicely there. So I believe that is kind of more or less everything that I have to talk about for this, so I'm just going to go ahead and play the whole song now.
If you
So yeah, if this is the kind of video that you're interested in seeing me do more, let me know. Um, and then hopefully, if I can ever be bothered enough, or ever have the inspiration to make more songs, I'll hopefully do more stuff like this. If you just prefer me just to play the song in the video and leave it at that, also let me know. But yeah, I'll leave the link to my remix and the original song in the description. So if you'd like to go give my song a like, it'll help out a lot with getting my song more noticed. Then hopefully become, at least like more up to the top of getting a chance to win, or becoming like, runner up or whatever. Don't have to, but it would be highly appreciated. But yeah, if you want more of this, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Oh wow, thank you very much.